Yeah. Weird. Do you like the Suns?
Okay, so the way I view the Suns, like, have you ever heard like the term like, oh, they're peaking like a little bit too early, like they're not ready for success yet?
Yeah.
I believe this was what's going to happen to the Suns this year. I feel like they're about a year to 3 years away from actually like having like that championship actual like ceiling and being a contender, especially if they like keep Chris Paul around. But it's like I think they could go, to the second round. At the highest, I see them getting to the conference finals at the highest ceiling, but like, I have them as like a second round exit. I just think they're peaking too early, even though they're a 2 seed in the West.
Yeah.
Especially with like this would be Devin Booker's first time in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
I'm happy for Devin. Like
yeah,
after all these years of garbage.
yeah.
Um,
Like a lot of those guys are young, and I don't think they would handle. But they got a squad. I mean, like they got some shooters like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. Like they got a whole like they got a nice team, but they play so slow, so slow.
um, hmm, what is it? I mean, with the Suns' success, this really like I'm impressed with Chris Paul. Just like how valuable he is, like that.
Yeah, everywhere he has
Everywhere he
gone,
goes.
yes, his team immensely gets better, and like that's the undervalued, underappreciated part about Chris Paul's legacy. Even though he doesn't have a championship, MVP, everywhere he's gone has been a contender. I mean, heck, New Orleans was. Remember when he was with the New Orleans Hornets? They were a number 2 seed at one year.
Yeah, that's true.
They went to the LA Clippers. They had a little bit of success. The Clippers were relevant while Chris Paul was around.
Yeah.
He goes to Houston. I mean, you can make the argument. I'm the firm believer they probably would have won the series against Golden State, but they would have lost to LeBron. I'll stick to that by this day. He goes to Oklahoma City. I mean, they were a game away from the second round, beating Houston. And now he's with Phoenix, and like they're going to be a top 4 seed in the West.
Yeah, true. Especially the last 4 years. You have the Harden team that one game away from the finals, and then the Thunder had no business being like a 5 seed last year. Was extremely impressed. I was like, they had no business being up there like that. And then he goes to Phoenix and gets down from 13 seed to 2. Like, it's kind of drastic how crazy he makes teams better. I never viewed him like that. It's LeBron-esque. Like he's that valuable.
In my opinion, he's the best pure point guard I've ever seen play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Pure point guard.
What do you mean, like all time, or just like in this generation?
No, like especially in this generation, but like he's like the definition of like the point guard position. If you were to look at it in the dictionary, is Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Would I go with Chris Paul all time as the best point guard of all time? No. But if there's a pure point guard that can play make, create his own shot, and provide for others, it's Chris Paul. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Paul's a very textbook old school point guard.
Yeah, like he's like I was seeing the other day, they were like, well, would you have Chris Paul above like a Steve Nash, a Jason Kidd, and like all this stuff? And I was like, that's tough. Like that category, just those three names at point guard, like I don't know who I'd go with 1 through 3.
I mean, Steve Nash, he's easy, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't think I would go with Steve Nash.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does Steve Nash really deserve those 2 MVPs?
Yeah, I'd say so. He had them. I mean, it's just like, yeah, he had the narrative at those years. What is it? Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul's like a 20-10 guy. 20 points, 10 assists every year.
2 steals.
2 steals a game. Just very, very traditional. Kind of rare in this time. Let's see. Let's see the Clippers, Suns, Jazz. Who do you take more serious out of those 3?
Out of Clippers,
Suns or Jazz? Like who's going to be with the Lakers in the conference finals?
Oh dang, that's a hard question.
I could
I
see the
don't
Jazz eking through a little bit.
I don't trust the LA Clippers. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think the Suns are a year away or two from like actually like flourishing. You know what? I will give. That's the much respect I will give the Jazz. If you make the conference finals against the Lakers, good for you.
I know. I'll say that like just because they're probably gonna get the number one seed, but they're gonna win it. I feel like they could by default make the conference finals. You know, like
Well, the
but,
crazy thing is like, what if the Lakers fall to the 4th seed? Your second round matchup
yeah,
is the LA Lakers and the Jazz.
that's tough. Mm-hmm.